All right, chat. So here is the story. Here's the story. How I got scammed out of $18,000. Okay? So we gotta pull the clock all the way back, okay? This is back like 5-6 years ago when I was living in Tawasin, okay? And when I was living in Tawasin, I had 4 roommates. Well, sorry, 3 roommates, okay? I lived with my ex-husband. I lived with a pair of twins, okay? And the pair of twins, they worked for me at a job, okay? Okay, they were like, I gave them a job. They were both living in different places. I gave them a job and I let them live in my house, okay? All they had to do was pay rent, okay? Now, within about 2 months of them living with me and my husband break up, okay? We get a divorce, we separate, we go our separate ways, but it was a very, very, very hard divorce for me because I was still in love, they weren't, okay? I was still full hard in, but they were gone. They just didn't want to continue with it anymore. And I was the one who ended the relationship, but like they had mentally ended it like a year ago, okay? So it was a really, really, well, it's an ex-wife, but they're trans, so they're a guy now. So like, to be respectful, I'm saying ex-husband, but at the time they were a girl, so like technically ex-wife, but like in reality now ex-husband. It's a weird situation, okay? I do have an ex-wife, and it is the ex-wife, but they're trans, so they're a guy now, so I'm being respectful and saying ex-husband, but like, at the time, you know what I mean? You know what, ex-partner works. That works, Shadow. That actually works. Okay, we'll go with ex-partner, okay? So anyway, so it was a very hard breakup for me because I was still fully in love and fully invested, and they'd stopped being in love like a year ago, okay? So we break up. 3 months later, I found out that they had been cheating on me, so I kicked them out of the house, okay? I kicked them completely out of the house, so now it's just me and the twins, okay? And so me and the twins had to split the bill 3 ways. So during the next like 6-7 months-ish, right? I am very depressed, and all I do is I go to work, I come home, I go to my room, and I focus on Twitch and YouTube and stuff like that. But I'm actually really, really, really depressed at that time, okay? And these guys are telling me, oh yeah, we're sending you the rent, we're sending it to the email. But every month there'd be an excuse. There'd be just like, oh, the email didn't work, but I sent out the money, I'm not gonna get the money back for like 3-4 days. Or, oh, I'm having trouble at my job, like I just changed jobs and I'm not gonna have it this month. Is it okay if I pay you next month? And I'm just like, because I was so depressed, I'm just like, okay, sure, I'll deal with it. Like, I just wanted to like curl up in a ball and just like keep like my head down and just keep going with the world, right? After about 6-7 months of this, I start getting a little bit more aggressive, being like, hey, it'd be really great if you guys like paid all your rent that you owe me, stuff like that, right? And they're like, oh yeah, we don't want you to feel like we're scamming you or anything like that. We don't want you to feel like we're not paying you or anything, stuff like that. Like, I'm like, it's not what it feels like, it's the reality. Like, can you please fill out? Here's the right email, here's the right information, here's everything. I need you guys to like pay up and do your thing, right? I go in and I do one of these streams, okay? Like, just like we're doing right now and stuff like that. But in my old house, the room was completely soundproofed. And when I put the headphones on, they are sound dampening headphones. So I hear nothing, okay? And I did a 12-hour stream, okay? Started 12 hours. And around about 6 hours in, yeah, you remember the story, about 6 hours into it, I go to get a glass of water, okay? I open the door, go downstairs, and a whole, like the couches are missing, a whole bunch of the cutlery's missing, like the TV's missing. The house looks like it's been robbed and ransacked. And I'm like, oh shit, we've been robbed. Oh my God. So I run upstairs to go see Soul and Ace and be like, guys, we got robbed. And I'm about to pull out my phone and like call them and stuff like that, right? And their bedrooms are empty. Both of them, completely. The only thing on the ground is like garbage. And I'm like, oh, they're gone. They just abandoned me without word. And now I'm in this house alone that was supposed to be paid with like 4 people to cover it. And I'm just alone now in this house. It turns out that their parents had bought them a house and all they had to do was move into it and pay the mortgage as rent. Yeah. They basically they moved out on a whim, gone. Between the two of them, one of them owed me $9,000, the other one owed me like 7.5 thousand of like back paid rent. Yeah, and they just left. Now they were stupid because they did it in such a rush, they forgot to change their mailing address, and they forgot some very important things at the house. So I had things as hostage. So I'm just like, hey bitches, what the fuck? Also, here's your shit that's still here. You're gonna have to come explain to me like what the fuck's going on. And that's why I know what happened, right? They had to come back with their tail between their legs because I had like their important documents, because they were how should I put it? They were being federally prosecuted for fraud. Go figure. They were being federally prosecuted at the time for fraud, and they defrauded me. Who would have guessed it, right? But anyway, so I had their documents that they needed for their federal case. Judge Judy them. 100% I should, but I'm in Canada, so I can't. But long story short, they had to come back, and they're like, oh, well, we're definitely going to pay you back, but because of our criminal court case and everything like that, our money is going to be tight, stuff like that. I'm just like, what can you do to pay me back? And they're like, we can pay you back $500 a month to pay you back for it. I'm just like, okay, that is your rule. I'm going to hold you to it. They pay me $500 a month for 1 month, and then never again. Just never again. That's the story. They have not paid me back to this day. Every once in a while, they try to come to my house parties. Like, I'll be setting up like a fursuit house party or stuff like that, and they come and they bring the fursuits, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna party with you, and I tell them to fuck off. But yeah, should have stolen their credit cards. Here's the thing, I'm not a bad guy. I don't think of stuff like that. Should have shredded those documents. They lost the case anyway. They decided to go to a federal trial for fraud, like what do you call it, identity fraud, stuff like that, without a lawyer. They were going to do their own lawyer. Oh, I got stuff written and recorded. I have all the documents proving that they owe me this money, by the way. Yeah, I have it all. It's fine. Get your friends to steal their credit cards. Well, here's the thing. After I got them out of my house and years later, stuff like that, I found out that they scammed other furries in the area. They scammed other furries out of motorcycles and other money, stuff like that. Like, these guys just scam constantly. Are they in prison? No. This gets a little bit deeper. So one of the twins at the time was accidentally working for a criminal organization, okay, that was like kind of like a mafia kind of thing. He was a truck driver for them, right? So they caught him. They gave him these like federal charges of like fraud and stuff like that for other things he did to coerce him to testify against that group. So they got off with like just a financial hit. They got a record financial hit and like some sort of like hey, you can't leave the country for so many times, I think. But yeah, they got off without any jail time.